What's going on, guys? Kanthev here, coming at you with another video. This week we're going to discuss the recent Workbench update and go into some major tips and tricks to ensure that you guys progress as quickly as possible. So as many of you guys know, Rust has once again majorly changed the progression system in the game. I'll be referring to this update as the Workbench update. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you a really quick rundown of what this update entails, and then I'm going to go dive into some tips and tricks for how to be successful on a server with all the new updates in mind. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So on October 5th, Rust was updated to include a new crafting system, which implements elements of old systems as well as a whole new workbench mechanic. I wanted to get some experience with this new system before I made a video about it, so I've managed to get around 20 to 25 hours worth of gameplay, and I've compiled a few major tips and tricks that I think will really help you guys progress faster straight from the beginning. Now there are tons of other videos covering the specifics of the Workbench update, but all you need to know is that some items can only be made when you're within close proximity to a workbench. This means that you can't just craft an AK if you happen to find all the parts right away. It basically throttles your progression. On top of this update, Rust has reverted to the blueprint system. There's also a ton of videos on the blueprint system in the game, but basically it's where an item cannot be crafted until you have researched that item on a research table. Researching costs scrap, and nearly all of the good items in the game, besides the essential items like sheet metal doors and code locks, will need to be researched before you can craft them. While this sounds simple enough, it has majorly changed how the game is played. You can now trade blueprints in vending machines, meaning that you can offer them for other items, or you can request them from other players who might have already researched that item. This also means that a lot of scrap is required to get all the items researched. Everyone in the game needs scraps for one thing or another, which inadvertently resulted in scrap becoming a basic currency. Pretty much everyone in the game sells or buys things for scrap now. So what does that mean to you guys? Well, scrap has become very valuable. Collecting scrap allows you to not only research items that you found, but you can also use this scrap to buy items that others have found that you might be looking for. This means that in order to meaningfully progress in the game, you'll have to get your hands on scrap. The easiest way I've found to get scrap is to build next to long stretches of road where barrels and boxes spawn plentifully. Because nearly all items must be researched before they can be crafted, you'll have to find these items in the wild. The drop table of barrels and boxes has changed wildly to include almost any craftable item to account for this. Farming barrels and boxes not only gives you a lot of items that you can research, but also gives you the valuable scrap that you can use to research items or barter with other players. I personally like to build around long stretches of road that don't have a lot of rad towns around them because there will usually be less traffic in these areas, so you're less likely to be attacked while farming barrels. One strategy that I use is to have a base that's far away from roads but is located near a lot of other resources like forest for trees, and then also have a small base that's right next to a road that you can use to easily farm barrels and store your valuables in. Once you research an item and learn the blueprint, you'll remember it even if you die, so you can craft a research table in the small base by the road and just research anything interesting you might find. With this update, there's been an explosive increase in the amount of shops built on servers because it allows you to put offers for those items that you've been looking so desperately for. I would definitely recommend crafting a vending machine at some point, but maybe not attached to your main base and not right at the beginning. I'd wait until you have a decent amount of items, and I would make a small separate base to put these vending machines in so you don't risk having a ton of people come up to your main base. As always, the exceedingly exclusive loot will drop in airdrops and military crates, but those are usually heavily contested after this Workbench update. I wouldn't recommend going for the airdrops unless you have a squad or if it's late at night and the server population is very low. Anyway, those are the major takeaways that I found from playing Rust after the new Workbench update that came out a few days ago. I hope you guys found this video informative. If you liked the video, then make sure to drop a like, and if you're interested in seeing more Rust content like this, then make sure to subscribe. Once again, my name is Kanthev, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.